Welcome back. Now let's go straight to the front pages of the papers. After which way Nigeria looking at the mass defection, or you could call it the transfer window, which is still open up until 2027. Our guest to analyze the front pages of the newspapers is public affairs analyst. You can call him Mr. Theophilus Akatugba. Joins us live.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to join you this morning.
Wearing olive green.
No, this is not olive
Extending
green.
the olive
Why do you
branch.
want to claim everything to be olive? This is army green.
This is olive green.
Thank you.
He's extending the olive branch.
I see.
It's good to have you.
Let's take our very first paper very quickly, and you can join us as well to analyze when you share your thoughts. The leadership is our very first paper, and we would run through it like a tsunami as fast as we can. Analysts upbeat as Dangote refinery begins expansion to 1.4 million barrels per day. Seems like good news. National Exam Council sets up UK centre, targets 10 others. Resident doctors start indefinite strike November 1st. Nigeria records 50 billion cryptocurrency transactions in 1 year. Okay, all right. And then we have Lagos 3.366 trillion naira budget records, 80% performance. I think that was said by a commissioner, by the way. A police arrest members of killer gang in Sokoto. Then we have ruling party disowns Congress timetable. Stand-up fight against Boko Haram. Others, Arawa Forum, Afenifere tell new service chiefs. So we're going to start off with that story, which you...
And the picture there is of protest in Cameroon.
Oh, yeah.
Today is a decisive day.
Yeah, it's taking a different turn already.
The commission is meant to announce presidential results, and we'll definitely be monitoring.
Yes, we also had our correspondent who was live in Cameroon share a bit of information on X, Catherine, where she also explained that 2 people have been killed and some have been injured. So far, so good. It's heightening up. Let's put it that way. But let's start off with the very first story. I'd like you to react to Mr. Akatugba. Step up, fight against Boko Haram. Others, Arawa, Afenifere tell new service chiefs. The shuffling that we saw over the weekend, it came as a shock. It came as a surprise to some. For many, it was like, okay, what's really going on? Is it as a result of the purported coup?
You know, there's something that happens in, you know, every time there is something going on within the military, those who become privy to it could run to town and publish something because they know that imminently something is going to happen. I'm sure the president already knew that some of the service chiefs, their tenure, they're already going up to retirement age. Some of them are going to be 60 next year.
And 35 years in service.
35 years in service. So that was already in the card. And so the fact that the rumor came out and this happened and the celebration of independence was shelved, you know, fueled and gave flesh or meat to the rumor. What we can say, if that reshuffling was as a result of the coup scare.
Yeah.
But the president already had a plan, or it's part of the process that they were going to go.
So in its announcement, the presidency said, okay, service chiefs have been changed. We wish them well in their duty for serving Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. Do they owe Nigerians a duty of telling us why they were removed in the first place?
No, not the way. You see, that's what I'm saying. The president has the prerogative, the constitutional powers, you know, to change, yes, to hire and fire his military chiefs at any time without giving any explanation to the country. He might give you a reason, but he's obliged not to give, you know.
But don't we deserve this explanation?
You know, because it's security, and that is the highest security apparatus of the country, and the president surely will, you know, remember the Buhari days. As soon as he removed them, he sent some out as ambassadors. So the president has the way and has the capacity and the authority to do what he has done. And the coup scare has been denied by everyone, denied by the government, denied by the military themselves. And so to me, it's something that Nigeria should not really, because tomorrow this one could be removed for one reason or the other. And if there is no, you know, satisfactory performance, they also can be removed. Okay. They all know that much, and it's something that when I heard of the coup scare, I was a bit worried, but later I started giving in to the fact that it could just be somebody who was overzealous. and wanted to run to town just before the change.
Okay,
With the
okay,
news, yeah.
that's starting to look a bit more practical, if we want to say it that way. Let's look at this particular one. Resident doctors start a definite strike November 1. We also took it in the news. The doctors say the agreements have not been reached. We had the president join us earlier in the news. Are we seeing a very slow approach to solving these incessant strikes?
Well, like I said, and like I say always, the problems of Nigeria are multifaceted. It's quite sometimes very overwhelming if you are in government and there's a lot of expectations. All of these agitations, they are legitimate. They are all looking for better conditions of service. And for doctors, I will say that it is out of patriotism that you have a lot of them working here. Also, part of appreciating a country that have trained them at a subsidized rate, because many of these doctors got trained at a subsidized rate. And so out of that, we should also then, as a nation, reward them adequately for their patriotism, for choosing to remain behind and serve this country in spite of the beautiful law and the greens that are on the other side. And so I think they should do something quick to avoid the strike, because the agitation is legitimate. They want good reward for their effort, and also the conditions of service should be improved so that the quality of health care that we have can continue to improve instead of a decline.
So we can take everything you just said now and also apply it to education and us.
Yes. It can be applied everywhere, but I think the doctors should be treated specially.
Do we have the money to address some of these challenges?
Well, we don't have money for everything, but we must prioritize. Healthcare is actually, when you look at the days of Ebola, COVID, that's when you begin to see that medical personnel are another form of military. They are medical military men. The kind of work they do, the kind of risk they take.
Frontline
the
responders.
frontline people. They save this nation at most critical times, and there's no way
You're right.
I will call on the government to quickly look at their grievances. This thing has been too long now, and it's not been resolved. So I think we can say that they are not moving as fast as they should, and I think they should do something quick.
All right. I think we have a call coming in.
No, I think we have our correspondent
All right.
on a conversation we had earlier on concerning the demolitions in Uworo-Shoki. But let's see if we can connect with him. Israel Eferebo is live on ground to join us this morning. Before we continue with the newspaper front pages, Israel, if you can hear us, I'm sure we're waiting to hear the latest report from you concerning the demolitions. Can you give us the latest updates concerning the demolitions in Uworo-Shoki? Can you hear us? Okay, we'll try as much as possible to see if we can connect with Israel Eferebo, who is live at Uworo-Shoki, to give us the latest updates. Remember, it's one of our major topics that we had today here on Breakfast Central. Olive, we're going to the next paper, the Vanguard.
All right, the Vanguard newspaper. NECA, Man Nasima rejects Senate's NSITF takeover, warn against politicians of Workers' Fund, say move to amend Act threatens transparency and violates ILO's convention. I'll sack incompetent contractors, says Okpewulu. Enugu government arrests man for defiling his two daughters. Stories like this make my skin crawl terribly. Serap to NNPCL, account for missing 22.3 billion naira, $49.7 million, 14.3 million pounds, and 5.2 million euros oil funds as well. Resident doctors declare indefinite nationwide strike from October 31st. Nigeria loses $6.8 billion to oil production shortfalls in 8 months. And then we also have Dangote expands refinery to
1.4 million barrels per day.
1.4 million
Will make it the
barrels.
largest single train refinery in the entire world. Something Nigerians should be proud of.
All right.
And also, I would like to make a comment on the front page. You have the coordinating minister of the economy, Mr. Wale Edun, and the chairman board of directors of Afrexim Bank, Mr. Wale Edun, taking pictures. And a news report, popular online news report, said this man that is looking hale and hearty here and taking pictures said that he was in a coma and the president was shopping for a replacement for the minister, and they haven't come out to, apologize for that or issue a rebuttal. It's quite sad. We need to do better.
We really need to do better.
Yeah. Okay, still on the front page, I want us to start with the Serap to an NPCL story, account for missing.
But before we go there, let's join our correspondent live. Israel Eforobo is in Oroshoki live to give us an update on the demolition exercise carried out by the Lagos state government in Oroshoki. Israel, good morning to you. Please, could you give us an update on the situation where you are?
Well, good morning, guys. It's a really terrible morning for residents here at Oroshoki, as the area is tense. That's the word. The area is tense.
We seem to be having issues with the audio. We'll try to reconnect when we can sort out the audio. But let's start with the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Serap to an NPCL. Account for missing 22.3 billion naira, $49.7 million, 14.3 million pounds, and 5.2 million euros oil funds. Is Serap just wasting its time?
No, they have a duty to...
Are you the analyst?
Exactly. I'm asking
you asked it, you didn't address that.
But we have to have a discussion.
And you know why I'm asking if Serap is just wasting their time? Because this is not the first time we've called for transparency within the NNPCL, even from the leadership of the NNPCL, even from those who have... We saw Lamido Sanusi's statement. So this is not the first time we've heard calls for transparency. So will this call be... Well,
what we need to find out is what period to what period is this? Is this within the tenure of this current leadership, or the Mele Kyari's time, or is it from a period? Sometimes it could be from a 10-year period. I don't have details. I've not read this full story. So what Serap is doing is good. It's calling government to accountability, so they must be commended. And if this is a call that the NNPC must respond to, they need to do that quickly, because it's been a tough one. Mele Kyari and his group are currently facing the FCC probe over the spendings on the refineries that they told us that started working, and we discovered later that they were not working. That was another big thing, or it's another big thing that has not been finalized, only to hear of this. So the call of Serap is welcomed and commendable. It's for those concerned to actually give explanation.
Okay.
I mean, just to clarify, this letter was dated October 25th, 2025, and signed by Serap's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oludari. They demanded that the NNPC ensure the full recovery and return of the diverted or misappropriated funds to the Treasury without further delay. And I mean, there are more details in there that we probably cannot get into now.
Yes.
But let's move on now to our next story.
It would be nice for us to look at, because this story has been carried in all newspapers, so it talks about the importance of this story. Dangote expands refinery capacity from 650,000 barrels a day to about 1.4 million barrels per day. What are the implications of this? And maybe you're not the right person I should be asking this question. And why are we paying 929 per litre? And why was there no flyer that was put out? Well, because when Dangote Refinery wants to reduce PMS price, they put out it in the newspaper front pages, they drop a flyer and things like that. But they came like a thief in the night. And I went to buy petrol and I saw 920 naira a litre.
But we heard the announcement that prices have gone up to that price. It was published in newspapers. Now NNPC took the lead in the new prices. Actually,
can it come down?
Well, at this rate, Nigeria still enjoys some of the lowest petrol prices across the sub-region. And we must continue to enjoy that. 920 is still a good price if you compare it with neighboring countries and even other nations. It is not subsidized, so it's good price. It's not, if you compare it with subsidized nations, you'll be doing a wrong comparison. But look at everywhere petrol is not subsidized, you'll find out that this price is not a bad price. It's possible it can come down as the performance of the Naira is, if the Naira is gaining more in the market, as the Naira gain more, we're supposed to reflect in pump prices. So I'm confident that we must celebrate what Dangote is doing. You see, from 600 to 1.2 is audacious. And this is a positive news for Nigeria.
1.4 actually.
And this is the benefit of a deregulated, privatized sector. And this is what will happen because Dangote is moving and taking this giant leap when we're expecting a Boa refinery and some other refineries that are coming up. If this continue in this manner, the full potential of the oil industry will come to this country and it will create employment, it will create value chains. And so we must commend Dangote.
Principalities,
well, they are not there, they are still there, they'll continue to fight. You know, the damage, the economic damage to all of these sectors is massive.
But in the same light, the headline, just by the left-hand side of the Vanguard, says Nigeria loses $6.8 billion to oil production shortfalls in 8 months. So,
which months are they talking about?
In 8 months, they says records 93.7 billion barrel shortfall, 2.05 barrels per day target.
We are
no
talking
longer
about,
realistic this year.
I don't understand what they're saying.
Says experts.
Please, first we have surpassed our OPEC quota. Which shortfall are they referring to?
They're saying...
In the first 8 months of 2025, they're saying they're raising concerns over adequate funding of the 2025 national budget. They're saying that Nigeria has recorded crude oil production shortfall of about 93.74 million barrels in the first 8 months.
Well,
and that this shortfall indicates about $6.848 shortfall in oil revenue.
Is it in relation to our projected production on the budget or what we were producing before compared to what we are producing now? This shortfall need to be put in context so we understand what they're saying. Did we say we will do 2,000 barrels?
So they say here that the 2025 budget was predicated on a daily crude oil production target of 2.06 million barrels.
Absolutely.
But NUPRC data showed actual output average 1.673 million barrels per day during the 8-month period, indicating that there's an average shortfall of about 390,000 barrels per day.
Beautiful. I need to go study what the budget proposal, because this is really, really, I think for a government that was producing about 1.1 million barrels to say they would predicate 2025 budget, that doesn't sound realistic.
Okay. Let's move on to another story.
I'll sack incompetent contractors, says Okpebolo. We saw the working governor was stuck in traffic he was stuck in a flood.
Was it the current governor or the past governor? Because that place, they have always been stuck there. Even Obaseki was stuck there.
Yes, so
why did not move
that place is legendary.
Why can't they fix it?
That portion
can you give us a context
let me tell you,
of
that portion of Edo State have defied every solution. It looked like one of the lowest points of that state around that the New Market Road area. And Obaseki, all governors have been found stuck
Even the
there.
why have they not fixed it?
It's a very tough area.
No, engineers can do something about
they
it.
They can, but even the biggest intervention in that area has been by Oshomole. He brought some respite to that area. But any time it rains and you are in Edo State, it's always like that. In every of that stretch, in spite of what Shomole have done and every other governor. So Edo State has a very interesting topography, very difficult, topography that we must understand that these floods will come.
You shouldn't excuse. Look, volcanic areas, low islands, Maldives, there's no place in the world where you don't have geographical challenges that can't fix it. So
they could be fixed.
Are they supposed to just leave it like that?
No, but it's not a regular thing. It's only when there is a heavy downpour, and then this flash flood that goes away after some time.
Okay.
I can assure you, the Edo is a difficult terrain. The governors from government to government, they can use these things to mock themselves.
And the governor,
the next governor that will come,
will
the same flood,
will
be stuck there.
And the governor saying he will sack incompetent contractors.
Yes, that was.
Does that not?
No, that one is not okay. That one is in relation to something completely different. All right, but let's go on a very quick.
Let's go to Israel
we're going to
first.
break.
Israel first. Let's quickly see if we can reach Israel very quickly before we go on that break. Olive.
All right, let's connect to our correspondent, Israel Faribault, who's in Oroshaki, to give us updates on the demolition exercise being carried out by the Lagos State government there. Good morning once again, Mr. Faribault.
Good morning, Vanguard. Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, please.
Fantastic, finally. So it's been 2 nights of horror and terror, as some have described it here in Oworoshoki. I'm standing exactly at the bus stop of Iyanaworo. This is the area where just about some weeks back, the youths and residents of this area, they went on a spree of protest here on the Cumberland Bridge. They were here some weeks back, and the protest was due to the fact that they were attempting, or rather, demolition of houses in this area started already. After some time, we're told that demolitions have stopped, but just 2 nights ago, the demolitions continued. And this is the results that we have seen here today. Houses have gone, churches, mosques, businesses, people are out on the streets here in Oroshiki. Now this is a situation, but this morning what we have seen so far is heavy presence of security operatives led by the Commissioner of Police, CP Moshood Jimo. This morning here at Oroshiki, we understand that there are feelers that the residents of this area just might be coming out again to protest, and let out their grievances on the fact that their houses have been demolished, their businesses and livelihoods gone, but that has so far not happened. What we have here so far this morning, since about 7 a.m., is a heavy presence of police operatives here at Iyanaworo. And as you can see, a while back, the CP.
Fortunately, we cannot, due to some sound connectivity issues there, I want to believe. Well, we apologize for the audio challenges there. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll see if we can bring in at least maybe Israel and also our in-house analyst to look at one of the final story, this time from the Guardian newspaper. Stay with us. Welcome back. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up the show at this juncture. I want to say thank you for joining us. And thanks to our in-house analyst, Mr. Theophilus Akatugba. We hope to have you again so we can have more time to discuss.
Are you sure we can't take one more paper?
No,
in the spirit
no.
of just too funny, the fastest reader in the world, you could attempt the Guardian newspaper. But unfortunately, we have to go now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thank you so much. My name is
Thank you
Joe
for joining
Hansen.
us.